Come on in here, everybody. Come on in here. I got a phone call. That was weird. Come on in here. Fixing my hair. There we go. People are showing up. Come on, be sure and share our tea time because everybody needs a break, especially today. Both my sisters right there. Everybody come on in. Yep. And I'm going to be drawing a little topic out of our little wise old owl. I have one right here. Get on in here. Let me move things around so I can get the teapot up here so we know that that's tomorrow. Come on in. I have a cup of tea right here. It's already gotten cold on me. Come on in. Let's see what we're going to talk about today. Okay, this is going to be a good one. When we get to have about 200 people in here, I'll start talking because this is really a good one. It's really a good one. I know y'all can't hardly wait. So get on in here. Let me give you some announcements while we're waiting for that to come in. It's almost August. Get your calendars. They start in August. I'm already booking things into the end of the year and next year. So get your calendars ordered. Purple Rag BOGO. Put one in your cart. We'll send you another one for free. We decided on a date for the Swish and Swipe pack with the vase. It's going to end on August the 4th. So there you go. And 20% discount on our Sweepa and our Feather Duster using coupon code WATER147. So everybody drink up. Let's get our tea and let's drink up while I start telling you about what we're going to talk about. Yep. Even if it's cold, it's still good. So here we go. What I drew out of the hat, or out of the owl, was changing your thoughts. Here comes Tulip. She doesn't like storms. Come on, baby. Changing your thoughts. Come on. Yeah, she's not. We got a little rain happening. She heard me talking. She had to come in here. Yeah, you want to get in my lap, don't you? Anyway, so we're going to talk about changing our thoughts. Now, many years ago, from Rita Davenport, I learned what you think about, you bring about. And when you think negative things, you bring about negativity. You bring more negativity in your life. Now, if you will think positive things and have faith, then lots of things are going to change. Now, here's what you do when you hear negative things from other people. And Rita taught me this. She said, when somebody says something negative to you, ask them to turn it around to a positive. But if they don't, then you have to turn it around to a positive and say it to yourself out loud. Now, go into the bathroom and talk to yourself. Say it to yourself out loud. So if somebody says you're a messy housekeeper, say, turn that around to something positive because you don't want negatives. So turn it around and say, I'm learning to fly. And I'm going to get my wings before you know it. Because Fly Lady says I can do it. Put it in my words if you have to. You can do that. You can turn things around in your mind. And say it to yourself 7 times. Scott Adams, he pretty much said, write things down that you want to change. Write it down every day. Yesterday, our message was, who do you want to be? I mean, I never knew who I wanted to be when I grew up. But I knew God had a plan for me. I didn't know what it was. I would have never guessed this in a million years, that I would have, millions of people hanging on my every word. And I'm not exaggerating. Over the years, we probably had 1 million people. On Facebook, we have over 600,000 and just that like us, and another 500-something thousand that follow us. I don't know if they're one and the same, but we have a bunch on Constant Contact. So you see, I never dreamed my words could make a difference. And the hardest part is trying to help family members. Yep, that's the hardest part, because your family knows you. They've known you their whole lives, pretty much. My sister and I have been knowing each other since we were 1 and 2, So she knows me better than anybody. But our nieces and my nieces and nephews, they don't know me. They don't know me. Who am I to say, if you'll do this, this will change your life. If you'll do this, this will help you in a lot of ways. But we got to change our thoughts. And in changing our thoughts, we can change our mouths. We can stop saying negative things about ourselves. We can change our whole persona if we want to, but we have to want it. We have to learn that arguing and different things that other people do systematically, just out of reflex, we have to stop that reflexive action. So when somebody says something negative, you've got to turn it around to something positive. And if you can't say it to them, go in the bathroom and say it to yourself. Don't allow their negativity to hurt you. And another thing, you got to let go of your ego. Scott Adams taught me this. If we let go of our ego, then nobody can hurt us. When we forget about what people say about us, when we just never mind what they think about us, when you let it go, you can be your own person. Like we talked about yesterday, be the person you want to be. So it's so important to us to change our thoughts. We're the only ones that can do it. And when you start getting filled with negative thoughts, you may have to separate yourself from the person that's doing the negativity. But you can turn that negative into a positive. You can always find something positive to say to somebody else. Yesterday, was Monday, I guess it was, the anniversary of my sister Leanne's death. And my nephew was writing about it. I said, Ben, just write a thank you note to your mother and turn everything positive toward her. Yes, you were abandoned as an adolescent kid and different things like that, but turn it around. Turn it around. Turn it around to something positive. You found the Lord, and you had to do it in prison. Be thankful for that. This week or early this week or last week, I sent his girlfriend an image that was on Facebook, and it was the image of a mouse with a helmet on, sneaking up on the cheese in a mousetrap. And today Ben did a little. He has groups that he's over. He's a peer counselor in prison, and he went to school to do that. And he did a whole lesson on this, and he used himself as an example. He said, every time I've gone to prison in my life, he's been in prison a lot since he's been grown. He said, I would think about how I did something wrong and how I got caught and how I could do things differently. And it's this, he showed the picture of this mouse with the helmet on going after the cheese, trying to do it a different. You just got to stop that kind of thinking. That is trying to make things work when they've never worked. So you have to go about it a whole different way. He found the Lord. He is helping men find their sobriety. He has a calling now, which he may have never had he stayed in Lake County. He may have never had that. But now he has a calling, and he had to go to prison to find it. So if you know anybody in prison, send them a little money via JPay and help people, because they're finding themselves in prison. They're a captive audience. And I am so thankful that you're here every day. You're not a captive audience, but you come here to hear a message that I don't know where it comes from. The good Lord provides it. And I don't sit here and dwell on what I'm going to talk about. I could have pulled this out this morning and studied on it for hours, but then that's stepping on God's toes. God has a plan for us, each one of us. And it all starts with changing the way we think, changing our thoughts. And we have to fill our minds with good, wholesome thoughts. We have to do wonderful things with our lives. But it starts by changing your thought. So everybody, let's drink up and be thankful that we have the ability to change the way we think. Life's too short to dwell on things that don't work. God made us smart. If something didn't work, there was a reason for that. There was a reason. You know, God's trying to get your attention. He sure did get Ben's attention. He sure did get Ben's attention. Nobody wants to be in prison. Nobody wants to be there. But how they got there is a different story. And they can change their lives just like you can change your thoughts. They can change their lives. And when you change your thoughts, you change your life. So all it takes is just a few little things every day. Just a few little things. Like we talked about yesterday, and if you didn't watch yesterday's Tea Time, I was at Leanne's. Listen to it. When we change the way we think, we're going to change to the person we want to be. We can quit ricocheting and reacting to what people say to us and getting defensive, and let go of your ego. Let go of your ego. So that what they say is like water off a duck's back. To heck with them. You don't need them to confirm who you are. You know who you are. You know who you are in God's eyes, and you know you don't need them. So you don't have to argue. You don't have to put up with, you don't have to subject everybody around you to the arguing. We can zip it. Zip it. I mean, last week, I got a pitiful email from a close friend. And she had a video of her daughter had taken the video, and she had a video of this stepmom choking a baby, a 5-year-old. This is a baby. Choking a 5-year-old with her hands because he bit one of his siblings. Now, this was an older child that took the video. She was old enough to know what she was doing. And she sent the video to her mother. And her mother said, "What do I do? What do I do?" And I said, as a responsible adult, and this is what Robert would have told her too, because I asked him, as a responsible adult, you have seen a child getting hurt. And she not only had one video, she had two. She had to go to Child Protective Services. And then she had to go to a magistrate. And it took up the whole day. But she did what was right. She did what was right. And when you do what's right, as my granny always said, when you do what's right, God will take care of you. So let's change the way we think. because what we've been doing hasn't been working. Because what we've been doing hadn't been working. So when we start here with the body clutter that's between our ears, when we start here changing the way we think about things and stopping our reactions, when you feel the fire in your veins start building up, I mean, I know my ears turn red. I break out in big red swatches on my chest, and I feel myself put my hands underneath my thighs because I'm liable to hit somebody. I know I'm getting angry, and that's my cue. That is my cue to stop that reaction, because that's not going to be a pretty reaction. It's not going to be. It's a walk away, step outside. You know, are you hungry? Are you angry? Are you tired or thirsty? HALT, hungry, angry, lonely, and tired and thirsty. Look at why you're reacting to those things and stop it in its tracks. If you're hungry, go eat something. Fix you an egg. You know, just go eat something. If you're angry, calm yourself down, get into a place of happiness. If you're lonely, pick up the phone and call somebody. You see, there's lots of ways to put a halt to what you're getting ready to do. But think your way forward as to how this person would react to what you're going to say. I mean, there's an ugly commercial on TV from an insurance agency. It says, "Don't mess with my discount." And Robert said to me the other day, if somebody said that to me, they would no longer be my friend. They would no longer be my friend. So you can't yell at people. You have to be in control of your own thoughts. And if those thoughts are going to get you in trouble, you need to zip it and take care of you. Walk away. Because it's not good for you. It's not good for anyone in the family. I grew up in a family where mom and daddy fought like cats and dogs. I would get between them and get tossed across the room. So that's no way to live. It's no way to live. And Letha's saying here, pray about it. Stop and think about what you're going to say. You got to change your thoughts. And you're the only person that can do it. Nobody can do it for you. Nobody else can do it for you. Well, I love you all. I've run my mouth about as long as I could without crying. And I'm probably going to cry anyway. So you have to change your thoughts. You're the only one that can. Changing your thoughts is going to put you in another place where you want to be. It's going to be where you want to be. I love you all. I will see you tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. Are you ready? I know you can do this. I did it. I changed my thoughts. I went from negative Nellie to happy Marla. So please, please be aware of how you're feeling. Be aware of your feelings. When your house is pulling you away, and those of you who have clean houses and you have a negative person in your life, the cleaner your house gets, the more they're going to attack you personally. I know from experience. I found Pam and Peggy in the late 70s, early 80s, and I got the house spotless. But then I got to be attacked for my weight and everything. And I just had to learn that I couldn't change him. I couldn't change him. All I could do was change me. See you tomorrow. Bye.